Yo, what's up, people? It's your boy. I'm Chris the Dime One, and I am back with another video. I thoroughly enjoy NBA trade rumors, or rumors in general are circling around the NBA league, particularly around this season. We're coming to the end of the road, the finals. When you're talking about news on the NBA level, it's kind of slow. It's kind of dry out here in these streets. But this latest rumor has been blowing up like a dumpster fire on social media, and it's involving Chris Paul and the San Antonio Spurs. Now, ESPN and BleacherReport.com has been reporting this latest speculation, and when the summer begins and free agency start, Chris Paul has the opportunity to either re-sign with the LA Clippers to get a max offer of $200 million. That's going to be the most any NBA team can offer. No NBA team in the NBA league can offer Chris Paul $200 million. Excuse me. And if, and only if, Tony Parker retires, the San Antonio Spurs can offer Chris Paul a contract of $150 million. Okay, both of them contracts are nothing to sneeze at. Okay, they're pretty much big boy contracts. All right, but the Clippers can offer him $50 million more than any other team in the league. Okay, now I'm gonna tell you why this doesn't really make sense financially. And it really doesn't make sense when you're talking about basketball decisions in general, okay? When you're talking about the San Antonio Spurs, their organization, Greg Popovich is the coach. He emphasized ball movement. Basically, let's push the ball up the court, get everybody in position, and we're just going to move the rock around until we find the player that has the better look and the open and unattested jumper, okay? Now, when you look at Chris Paul, he's mainly a point guard. He's a floor general that pushes the ball up the court. He makes the right decision, and he gives the rock to the player that has the better look, okay? Now, when you hear this, you say to yourself, well, then that makes perfect sense, Chris, but it really doesn't. Okay, and I'm going to tell you why. If you have Chris Paul with the San Antonio Spurs, he's going to push the ball up, and immediately they're going to start pushing the rock around, and they're going to get into their San Antonio normal settings, okay? The San Antonio's offense is primarily a jump shooter team, and the one knock about Chris Paul is his jumper. All right. A lot of teams are going to know that, and they're not going to put any pressure on Chris Paul. They're going to say to Chris Paul, yo, as far as you slashing, we got that cover. Okay. As far as you moving the ball around, we understand that. But we're going to let you have that 20-foot jumper because chances are you're not going to make that shot. They're going to defend the other four players really well, really tight, but when it comes to Chris Paul, they're going to step back a little bit and allow him to make that jumper. I'm not saying Chris Paul is a terrible jump shooter, but that's not his best asset when you talk about his weapon wheel, his repertoire of skills, okay? Financially, this is also a bad look because if they soak up all their money into Chris Paul, then they're not going to have any more money to make the team better. There are other players that they also need if they want to defend the Golden State Warriors, okay? So if you soak up all of that money, you're pretty much out of free agency. You got Chris Paul, and that's pretty much all you can get. You can't get JJ Redick. You can't get any other players in the free agency, okay? What about the draft, all right? San Antonio Spurs are known to keep their picks, okay? When you don't have money to sign free agents, 9 times out of 10, teams would sacrifice a couple of draft picks to pick up players from existing rosters, okay? And the San Antonio Spurs don't do that. They really keep their draft picks and they develop the talent that they draft, okay? So that's not San Antonio Spurs organization's MO. They want to keep the draft picks and they don't want to overspend. That's why I don't think this is a good look for the San Antonio Spurs or Chris Paul. Now, there's another rumor out there, and it's floating like a hot fire about Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose going to the San Antonio Spurs. Once again, financially, it may be a good look because they can probably get Derrick Rose on the cheap. But on the flip side to that, I just don't think that's a basketball decision, a good basketball decision look either, okay? Derrick Rose is older than Chris Paul, okay? He's more injury prone than Chris Paul, okay? And are you going to really, you can probably get him on the cheap and possibly hope and pray Tony Parker comes back and says, you know what, I'm going to give it one more go. I don't see Derrick Rose accepting a backup position. I think he wants to start. And when you look at Derrick Rose's repertoire of skills, the type of style he plays, he really doesn't play the let's push it up the court and let me just stand around and we just push the ball around, okay, to the open player, okay? Derrick Rose is, when you talk about his skill, he's more into the slashing, okay? More so than Chris Paul. I don't think Derrick Rose makes the best decisions with the ball either, okay? So that's not even a real good look for the San Antonio Spurs. But if Derrick Rose wants to come there for the cheap and maybe take a backup position, maybe come off the bench, okay, I can see that aspect. But Derrick Rose has the mindset of thinking that he wants to start on a NBA team, okay? But guys, tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. Notification came in the building. Please hit that notification icon, that notification bell, so you'll be informed when my next video or live stream is going down. It's your boy. I'm Chris the Don 1, and now you may